Gotta wait till Max is happy. Nothing starts without Max. How you feeling, Max?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm fine. How's the family?
I'm fine. Thank you.
You ready?
Yeah.
Good. Let's have a warm welcome for Tim Corcoran.
Thank you. I try and do this often, but I've never done it quite this way before because tonight I'm going to restrict myself to some real Western folk music. That's the way it's supposed to work. Little Joe the Wrangler will never wrangle more. His days with the remuda, they are done. 'Twas a year ago, last April, he joined the outfit here, a little Texas stray and all alone. Long late in the evening, he rode up to our camp on the little pony he called Chow. With his broken shoes and overalls, a harder looking kid you never in your life had seen before. His saddle was a southern cack built many years ago, and an okay spur on one foot idly hung. With his bedroll in a cotton sack he'd loosely tied behind, and a canteen from his saddle horn he'd slung. He said he'd had to leave his home, his pa had married twice, new ma beat him every day or two. So he saddled up old Chow one night and lit a shuck this way. He thought he'd try and paddle now his own canoe. He said he'd do the best he could if we'd only give him work, though he didn't know straight up about a cow. But the boss, he cut him out a mount and kind of put him on. He sorta liked that little stray somehow. He taught him to wrangle horses and to learn to know them all, get him in by daylight if he could, to follow the chuck wagon and always hitch the team, and help the coast see narrow Russellwood. Now that's what we call expository action. Nothing has happened yet. But we did meet little Joe, and we met the narrator, who isn't so important except there'd be no story without the narrator. But obviously, little Joe's the guy we're interested in. But here's where the story starts. We'd driven to Red River, and the weather had been fine. Camped down on the south side in a bend, when a norther commenced a-blowin', and we doubled up the guard, 'cause it took all hands to hold the cattle then. Little Joe the Wrangler was called out with the rest. Scarcely had the kid got to the herd, when the cattle they stampeded like a hailstorm long they fled, and all of us was riding for the lead. Between the streaks of lightning we saw a rider far out ahead. It was little Joe the Wrangler in the lead. He was riding old Blue Rocket with a flicker o'er his head, trying to check the leaders in their speed. At last we got him milling and kind of quieted down, and the extra guard back to the camp did go. But one of them was missing, and we all knew at a glance 'twas our little Texas stray, poor Wrangler Joe. Next day just at sunup we found where Rocket fell, down in a washout 20 feet below. Beneath his horse smashed to a pulp, his spurs had rung the knell. 'Twas our little Texas stray, poor Wrangler Joe.